This is the first kids movie that I've rewatched in a while that I can confidently say that I can still see why kids like this. Like I did with The Good Dinosaur, but I've watched a lot of kids movies lately that I haven't liked. Um, there are elements to it that I don't like. Like there are some iffy comments by some of the characters in the movie, like Thomas Hayden Church's character who plays Matt Damon's brother. He makes a line about how to keep Kelly and sell the zoo. Just a weird comment to make about a woman, especially when Matt Damon's character Ben Mee is not even dating Kelly yet. Would be weird, period. But yeah, very weird line. They also have another line where the guy that's gonna approve if this park is, gonna be allowed to open again or not, where he's clearly trying to get with Scarlett Johansson's character, Kelly, and that doesn't happen. And another one of the guys that works there says he's in lust with you, which is fitting. Funny joke, but crazy that slid by in a kids movie. This movie has a decent amount of cussing in it. Unlike Paul Blart, I thought it fit in most of the scenes. Funnily enough, there's a scene where they censor a word that they later say. They go and get a bear that escapes with a tranquilizer, and Matt Damon's character almost says shit, but he doesn't. But in a later scene, when his son's cussing at him, his son says, "Oh, that's bullshit," and Matt Damon says it back. So I thought that was funny. I guess we'll talk about the premise of this movie now. The plot is that Matt Damon's wife got sick and died. It's not specified what she died from. I'm assuming it's probably cancer or something like that. So it's just him and his 14-year-old son and his 7-year-old daughter. I added a whole 10 years to that. A 7-year-old daughter and 14-year-old son. The son ends up getting expelled from school, so that is their reason for moving. Plus, obviously not wanting to stay in the same town that him and his wife lived in. Too many memories that he just wants to get over. And they move. They find this new house that they really, really want. At least him and his daughter. Don't know where the son is. Because they haven't gotten a new school yet. And he says that he kept her home from school later. So I guess he's just leaving his 14-year-old son home alone. Or maybe he's at a friend's house because they're still in town as of right now. So they find this house finally. They have said no to a lot of houses, and they find this one house, and they immediately love it. But it turns out it's a zoo. Originally, he doesn't want it, but when he sees how much his daughter likes it, he decides to get it. Which is crazy. I mean, they explain it later that he wanted more to do, and it would help him get his mind off his wife. But yeah, it felt like he really only bought this house because of his 7-year-old daughter, which is sweet, but not financially responsible at all. But yeah, it's a kids movie, so whatever. They actually deal a lot with finances and how much expensive it would be to run a zoo and to do all this. Which I liked that. I didn't know if they were going to talk about that or not, because that was one of the first things I thought about when I watched this movie. Are they going to talk about how expensive it would be to run a zoo? And they did. So that's pretty cool. There's one character that doesn't have that big of a role. I think he only has one line, but he's in quite a few scenes because he's one of the people that works there. Nathan. I instantly recognized him. He's the cannibal from season 1 of Gotham. I did not expect to see him in this movie. Funnily enough, one of the zookeepers there, McCready, has a line about wanting to chop a guy's head off with a sword when Nathan's character in Gotham used a sword. It would have been cool if Nathan Nathan's character was the one that was played McCready and had the sword line. But yeah, I think McCready does a really good job in his role. Um, Problems arise. They start running out of money. He used his dad's inheritance to buy the house because apparently his dad died too, but they don't talk about the grief of his dad dying, just his wife dying. Um, so his wife apparently also left him some money, $84,000, and he uses that to help fix up the zoo. Um, I think they fire this girl Rhonda just because she was a bit rude, which I thought was crazy. Like she had gossiped and told everybody. I think Matt Damon's character's a fraud. He doesn't have any more money. There's no money in the zoo account. Which yeah, she was snooping, kind of rude. But I don't think she should get fired for it because this is her last scene. I don't think I ever saw her even like just standing there. But Rhonda gets told, have fun in Mexico. And she goes, I don't speak Spanish. And he goes, adios, which adios means bye. So I think he just fired her there. He never says it, and the scene just kind of ends there. So, she doesn't ask, you're firing me or something. It just ends right there. So I don't know if she was fired or what. I tried to look it up, and there's nothing about it online. um, just, I guess he fired her for snooping, which, yeah, what she did was kind of rude, but firing her is crazy, in my opinion, at least. Um, they deal with all different types of things like grief, family issues, all types of stuff. I really think that's a good thing to do in a kid's movie. He eventually has to put a tiger down, even though he doesn't want to. He just wants to hold on to it as long as possible, when in reality he needs to let go. I had to do that with my cat last year in December, so I can really relate to that. I didn't want to have to let her go, but eventually I did have to put her down. So I think that is a good element to put in a kids movie, even though it is a harder topic. Um, so yeah, the movie, eventually they get the park inspected. The guy's like, he lets it pass. He says he doesn't think it's gonna work, but he's gonna let him try. And it looks like it's gonna go to shit. That they're not actually gonna get what they need because it starts raining and it keeps raining for like 2 days straight. But then by the third day it quits. So they're waiting for people to come. The opening time is 10 o'clock. By 10:02, the kid starts freaking out. He's like, they should have been here by now. No, something's wrong. They should have been here by now. And he starts running away. Like, it is way more... It felt like he was talking about something way more serious than it actually is. They find out that a tree fell down during the rain. So they start, like, pulling people up on top of the tree to have them get through. That's kind of weird, but it's whatever. Um, yeah, the movie ends with everything being fine. And then Matt Damon gets with Scarlett Johansson's character. His son gets with the one girl that was in the movie. She disappears from a good portion of the movie just because she tells him about the gossip of how that they might be having to leave. And he's excited about it because he misses his home and he misses his friends. And he tells her that. And she gets really upset about it, which I can somewhat understand since she is a kid. But at the same time, I don't think she should be angry at him that he's happy that he's going home. She literally says that she's going to go visit him and stuff. But yeah, she gets upset about that. So we don't see her for the rest of the movie until eventually he decides to go tell her that he loves her. Even though they didn't really have that much chemistry together, they just ate sandwiches once or twice and talked about his art. I guess they're kids or whatever, but weird. I didn't think either of the people that get together in this movie had romantic relationships, but what do I know since this movie is based off a real story? So, yeah, that's we bought a zoo.